Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum little kids. This is Shehroz Abdullah and today we are going to discuss what is noise and why it is nuisance. If you remember in the previous topic yesterday we have discussed what is musical sound and we have discussed what is noise actually in the previous lecture. And today we are going to discuss why it is nuisance actually. So the question basically what we are going to discuss is what is noise and explain why it is a nuisance. Before going further, we need to understand that what is noise. You know, in the previous lecture we have read that those sounds which has unpleasant effect on hearing known as sound. Similarly, we can also define it by so many ways. We can say that noise is an undesirable sound that is harmful for health of human as well and for other species as well. And also we can say that noise is the sound which disrupts the normal functioning of life, which has a bad impression on your CNS system, central nervous system. This is what we call noise. Okay, now we discuss like what is basically the effects of noise on us. There are so many effects of noise on our CNS system or on body, on our hearing system and a lot more. For example, the first is hearing loss. You must have observed that those person who work in the industry and in the last age, like in old age, they have some hearing problem. Why? Because they are continuously exposed to high noise over there. Okay, we feel sleep disturbance, what we call insomnia as well, and this is because of noise actually. Then we have aggression, increase in the temper level known as aggression, that is due to noise actually. Then we have hypertension, then we have high stress level, restless depression. Restless depression is one of the main cause for noise and which must be taken care of. Anxiety, yes, anxiety is one of the effect of noise. Then we have emotional stress. Emotional stress is also one of the factor which is caused by noise. There are some factors we have discussed, some effects we have discussed which is directly related to noise actually. And now we discuss why noise is a nuisance and like why we say that why we consider is as bad, harmful. Why? Because of noise pollution, you know. And nowadays noise pollution is become a very difficult to reside. Like in over here, noise pollution. In noise pollution, the people face problem in living. They have aggression problem. They have like hearing loss, insomnia, like different things in our daily life we face. And in since we know that the effects, harmful effects of noise are increasing day by day, we have to reduce it by different methods. Like nowadays noise pollution has become a major issue of concern in big cities. Like what may be the sources of noise pollution in big cities? For example, transportation equipments and heavy machinery in industries level, okay? Loud vehicle horns, hooters, alarm, all these things come under that. Okay, work on constructing cities in urban areas like drilling, etc. All these comes under noise pollution. Now, what is the recommended level for noise? You know, in most of the cities, it is almost 80 to 90 dBs. But WHO, World Health Organization, has recommended the level of 35 dBs while sleeping. So if we care of these things, so we can stay safe and healthy. So what we have done today, we have done noise, we have discussed effects of noise, we have discussed sources of noise, and we have discussed the recommended levels of noise by World Health Organization. So to discuss audible frequency range. If you remember in the previous lecture, we have done with noise. We have discussed why it is a nuisance. We have discussed effect of noise on humans as well as on different species. we have discussed the sources of noise pollution, right? We have discussed the recommended level of it. So this was all about previous work. Okay, and now today this is lecture number 15, and now we are going to take start with audible frequency range. Look, what is audible frequency range? You know one thing. Look, human ears can hear only those sounds whose frequency lies in between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Like human ears can sense, can understand, can hear only those sounds whose frequency lies between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, or in other words we can say 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. This range of frequency is known as what? This is known as audible frequency range. Okay. The frequency range to which a normal human ear is sensitive is known as audible frequency range. Now, basically the range is how much? 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. In other words, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Okay, this was all about audible frequency range. Now we are going to discuss a slight concept map of audible frequency range. You know, concept map means a detailed explanation in form of examples, types and subtypes as well. Now we are going to discuss the concept map of audible frequency range. You know, audible frequency range can be classified into basically two. The first is infrasonics, the second is ultrasonics, or in other words we say ultrasound. We know that 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz is known as audible frequency range. Okay. Now, what is infrasonics? Those sounds whose frequency lies below 20 hertz, means those sounds whose frequency lies below 20 hertz, known as infrasonics. And the second is ultrasonics, those sounds whose frequency lies above 20 hertz, sorry, 20,000 hertz, those sounds whose frequency lies above 20,000 hertz. In other words, those sounds whose frequency lies above 20 kilohertz. This is what we call ultrasound, or in other words we can say ultrasonics. Okay, now do remember one thing, there are a lot of applications of ultrasound in our daily life. You know, in medical field it is used to diagnose a certain disease, it is used for the treatment, it is used for the diagnosis of tumor and different, you know, powerful ultrasound is used to remove blood clot from the arteries as well. Okay, we use powerful ultrasound waves to take a picture of thyroid gland as well. Okay, then we have sonar is one of the best technology in which ultrasound is used, you know, which is used, sonars are basically used to find out the depth of the sea, to locate a certain object, to find the shape of it, to find the size of it. All these things can be done with the sonars, which work on the principle of ultrasound, means frequency above 20,000 hertz, 20 kilohertz. Okay, then we have non-destructive testing. You know, whenever we aeroplanes, ships and different things we make, so what we do to check out, is there any cracks, is there any flaws? What we do ultrasound treatment of it, to check out, to find out the flaws in the ship surface, like on the surface of ship, on the surface of plane, so that it can be so mishap can be avoided. Okay. Then bacteria and germs can be destroyed by using high powerful ultrasound waves. Okay, then we have ultrasonic cleaners. You know what we do, the very fine jewelries, you know, they cannot be purified, like they cannot be cleaned by using normal method, like what we do by hands, by rubbing some cloth across it, so it will be damaged, right? So to clean very sensitive jewelries, what we do, we use ultrasonic waves, we follow ultrasonic waves on it, so dust and all these things are removed through that. Okay, then we have automatic door openers. You know, automatic door openers is one of the technique used by ultrasound principle, which works on the principle of ultrasound, you know. Okay, so all these things are applications of ultrasound. What we have done, let me summarize today's work. We have discussed audible frequency range. You know, human ears can hear only those sounds whose frequency lies between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. In other words, we can say 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. This is known as audible frequency range. Okay, now in audible frequency range can be further classified into two of the branches. The first is infrasonic, the second is ultrasonic. In infrasonic, what we say? In infrasonic we say those sounds whose frequency is below 20 hertz, known as what? Infrasonics. Okay, then we have ultrasonics, those sounds whose frequency lies above 20,000 hertz, above 20 kilohertz. This is what we call ultrasonic. There are a lot of applications of ultrasonic waves. Ultrasound or ultrasonics, both are same thing. Okay, medical field, in medical field they are used in treatment, diagnosis, and it is also used to remove the blood clot from the arteries. It is also used in to take the picture of thyroid gland. It is also used to find out the cracks or non-destructive testing, we can say also. Okay, to kill the germs and bacteria, we also use that. Ultrasonic cleaners, automatic door openers, all these are what? These are applications of ultrasound. So this is how we do with the today's work. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz, Jazakallah, and Fi Aman Allah.